Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode What's in the Bag 7 of the Bad Eggs Film Podcast. And this isn't your ordinary podcast, you know, two bros, yo, let's start a podcast. What are planes? How'd they get up there? Nah, here we're gonna talk all things movies. My name is Charlie Batista.
I'm Sabian Arazi.
And without further ado, you can find us on Instagram at Bad Eggs Unofficial and YouTube at Sabian and Friends. And without further ado, let's get into what we watched since our last episode, starting with Monkey Man on April 16th. What'd you think of that movie?
I actually thought it was great. I heard, there wasn't a lot of action, but, nah. There was a lot of action.
It's a good amount of action for an action movie.
Yeah, and then the story I thought was great. I like how it was told. It wasn't opening scene, tragic backstory, and you get all the basic storytelling. It was told in an out-of-order way, which I liked. And one big complaint I heard everyone saying, I didn't even know it was a complaint until after I saw it, was the shaky cam. But,
that's what I was going to bring up.
it didn't, I honestly was not bothered at all by it. There's shaky cam that I don't like, and that's, when it feels artificial. Dead Reckoning Part 1 actually has a scene where I think it's bad.
Oh, the hallway?
Yeah, because the camera's shaking for no reason. It's shaking to make it, disorienting. But in Monkey Man, it feels like the camera's trying to follow what's happening. It doesn't feel, shaky for no reason. And I could understand everything that happened. There was no point where I was like, damn, what is going on? I can't see anything. I could understand everything.
I would say, in regards to the shaky cam, in, the first half of the movie, it was shaky, but in the third act, after he has his training scene, it's not shaky anymore. So I'm assuming that's because, he's a more refined fighter at the end of the movie, so you can clearly see.
Dev Patel said that.
Oh, he said that?
Yeah.
Oh, dang. I literally, while I was watching the movie, I was like, that's probably why he did it like that. But I still don't really like it at the beginning of the movie, because there actually were a lot of scenes that I was like, where am I right now? I actually don't really know where I am. It wasn't really doing it for me there. The ending, though, I like the way the ending was shot, and I guess for that, effect of him becoming more, skilled by the end of the movie, I understand that they were trying to do that, but, I just wish that it wasn't that shaky. It could have been, more close up or something, or, maybe a little zoomed in or something, but, so shaky, I was like, damn, bro, I don't know what's happening.
But, I forgot what I was going to say, but I was going to bring up, remember that, police, that whole sequence in the beginning where he, tries to kill the captain, and then he, gets on this whole chase with the police, and he gets caught, and he escapes again. I thought that whole sequence was fantastic.
Yeah, awesome.
I loved all that. And with the axe, remember the axe, and the guy swings, and he accidentally hits someone else?
Yeah, dude, that was all great. Also,
also the ending, I kind of wish it went on longer.
Yeah.
When it ended, it said directed by, I was like, damn, they really just did that.
I feel like the action movie equivalent to ending a horror movie with a girl smiling.
Yeah, there was some stuff that didn't need closure. Also, I thought this was funny, but there were some sequences where, characters, especially the women characters, they didn't say anything. The whole, they literally said nothing. And I was like, I know Charlie, if we filmed this, he'd be like, hold on, bro, she has to say something.
Gotta say something. Well, no, but they were still, doing stuff, by the end of the movie.
Yeah, but there's, sequences, where specifically, there's no dialogue. And that has to be, a purposeful thing. And it's funny because we did that, or we tried doing that until we were
Well, something I really liked about this movie as well is how it also subverts a lot of action movie expectations. One of my favorites was, with the window when he, just hits it.
Oh, yeah, I thought that was funny.
I love that part. That part was great. And then also, when he's, they're hyping up that fight in the ring, and then he just, takes him out with one kick, and he's gone. That was also great. I liked when he was hitting that guy with, a stiletto at the end of the movie. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good movie. But, There's a couple things I don't like. I don't like the shake cam. I don't like how they repeated the flashback like 18 times throughout the movie. Like, we get it, bro. I mean, I think the reveal of like his hand scars was neat, but like they could have just done that way earlier, and like, at that point it felt a little dragged. But yeah, I would rate Monkey Man 4 stars.
I give 4.5.
Yeah, I knew that already. Next, for me, was the next movie you saw Abigail?
Civil War.
Oh, I didn't even write that down on my list.
Well, you forgot.
What day did we watch Civil War on?
On the 19th.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, that's right.
Dude,
Civil War, baby.
I got hella lot to talk about.
You want to go first, then?
Yeah. Well, I'm seeing that again tonight.
I'm jealous. I would watch it again.
With, like...
The boys.
Well, I wanted to take them because I wanted to see their reaction, but I hope they don't think it's some fun hangout movie. Like,
that's what Chris is going to do.
Chris is going to be like, oh, it's an action movie. I mean, I had a 40X release. Like, clearly I'm supposed to be having fun.
Yeah, that's the point of the movie. Supposed to go there. It's a popcorn movie, man.
But, nah, I mean...
Leave your brain at the door.
Yeah. Civil War. I knew going in. I don't know if you read my review. Did you read my review?
Yeah, I read most of it.
It was one of my longest reviews in a while.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I'm saying is that, like, I know I go to movies to have fun and, like, escape, but, like, Civil War is not that. It is, like, just, like, a terrifying thing that is, like, something that could happen. And, like, it was horrifying. I didn't like watching it. Like, I did, like, actively, during the movie, during the first 30 minutes, I said in the review, I was like, this is, like, low-key half-star. Because of how, like, I don't like watching it, and I would never watch it again.
What scene are you thinking, like, of, like, when the bomb went off? Or, like, just hearing them talk inside the hotel?
It was, like, after that, and when they started driving, and, like, you saw, like, the neighborhoods that were all, like, blown up.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, this is, like, honestly, like, something I don't want to watch. Except I'm in the theater watching it, so I have to sit through it. There are a bunch of scenes where it's just, like, horrible, like, and they're at the gas station, and they're like, I went to high school with that guy.
Yeah.
And he's hung up. Like, I think the movie's done way too well. It's way too realistic, especially the gunshots. Those are extremely loud.
Yeah, I was literally like...
Brian
Oh, shoot, that stopped my recording.
What? I
was like...
Yeah, I never jump when watching a movie. During horror movies, like, jump scares, like, I never jump.
Nah, I jump.
But, like, the gunshots in that movie were so loud and scary. But, like, here's a review I didn't like. It said, somehow manages to have less political depth than Captain America Civil War.
I think that's not the movie we're talking about right now?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about, like, Zemo at the gas station.
But that's honestly, like, such a stupid review because... And also on Twitter, I saw these brain rot takes that were saying that... They were like, if you guys are expecting a Civil War movie, like, don't watch it. Like, it's, like, barely about the Civil War. It's just following these, like... Journalists. And someone replied and was like, don't hate this movie for, like...
Not being what you expect it to be.
Yeah, like it is a movie about journalists. And then they replied with, like, a definition of Civil War. Like, what?
It's in the title.
It's called Civil War.
Yo, the Fablemans, like, do you even know what a Jaws? Bro, those are teeth.
It's such a stupid take. Because, like, knowing that the movie is about journalists...
It should have been called Back to the Present.
Yeah. It should have been called Back to the Present. Like... That's just what the movie is. And trying... People were like, oh, we wanted to know, like, how the Civil War started. Like, who's the good and bad guy. You don't want to know that. It's a civil war for a reason. Like, there's two sides. Both think they're right. And they're both fighting. And in order for the movie to be enjoyed by everyone, like, you have to, like, not explicitly lean to one side. Like, it would be such a bad idea if they tried to say, this side's correct. Or this side's correct.
Because then you're just, like, rooting, like, oh, I hope the Western forces get the loyalists.
Yeah, I mean, like, it should be clear enough that this isn't real because California and Texas teamed
Hell
up.
no.
And I know Alex Garland said some random explanation for why. No, that literally would not happen. There's no civil war where California and Texas are like, we should team up. Like, that's your fiction element. That's where the fiction comes in. But yeah, like, I'm glad it doesn't pick a side. I mean, there's clues. You know, president served his third term. Obviously, that's not allowed, and also he did airstrike American citizens,
civilians.
So clearly there is reason behind, like,
I think it's funny how Nick Offerman played him. Like, I'm used to seeing that guy be all funny.
yeah, clearly there's some clues to be had to take a side, and obviously I think you can imagine that the real horrible people, like Jesse Plemons' character, he's probably Republican. He probably supported Trump.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
And he's probably racist.
I thought he was a Jimmy Carter fan. I thought he voted Al Gore.
Yeah, so
2004.
So yeah, I mean, no political depth is very smart. I think Alex Garland, like, very carefully thought this out, and some people, I think, are just, like, thinking it over, and they're not realizing what he tried to make.
Something I saw someone said that I agree with is that this movie doesn't, like, that apoliticism typically comes out of, like, cowardliness, wanting to appease both sides. Like, oh, I'm going to choose to not be political, so, these guys and these guys can all watch my movie and they'll all be happy. But I don't think this movie cares to do that. That's not the story they're trying to tell. But I still wish, I think the movie could have given more background without leaning towards one side or the other and keeping it, like, just neutral, And obviously, like, I have my own beliefs, but, like, that doesn't mean that I would just want it, like, if that's not what the movie is, that's not what the movie is. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because it's a movie about a civil war doesn't mean that I want to preach in what I believe in, I want the movie to tell its story. But I also feel like if you're going to create this setting and whatnot, I want to see more of it. Because in reality, that Civil War, a lot of it mostly just felt like people shooting at each other without, like, any, like, kind of reason or anything, I wanted to know, like what is going on, and I feel like if Alex Garland put in the work, he could have done that without making it super, like, favoring one side or the other, or, like, trying to get the audience to root for one team, because I wanted to see a more fleshed out world. I did like, though, the movie takes a very documentary approach to the whole thing, and it's neutral, not in the sense that it's like being like, oh, both sides have their own favorite points, let's be the devil's advocate here. It's just more so following people in the setting, and when you're seeing people in the setting, they're not going to constantly be feeding exposition to each other like they would be to the audience, So that's something I think the movie does very well, and that it just kind of drops you there. And then you just kind of, like, live with these guys for a while and you see, like, what they're seeing. I just would have liked to see more background, personally. I was kind of edged a little bit when he was talking about, like, the president's third term and whatnot. But, like, the movie's building up so much to them confronting the president, and all we really get is just, like, he did a couple bad things that they mention in, like, 30 seconds. If the movie's building towards that and that's the climax of the movie, I want to know a little bit more about it, But I think it was pretty scary. I thought it was a very nice, realistic portrayal of what kind of things we would see in a civil war. I wouldn't say it's a realistic portrayal of a civil war straight up, but just, like, encounters that one might have while traveling across the country during a civil war. And yeah, I think it definitely succeeded in that regard. There were, like, chunks of this movie. There was one part where I was like, what would I rate this? Shut up. But yeah, I mean, I liked it a lot. Jesse Plemons.
Man, like, dude, his scene, I knew that going, and everyone was saying, like, oh, this is the scariest scene. Like, yeah, it was the scariest scene. And I would hate to be in that situation.
Yeah, that would suck. I don't know what I would do.
Nah, I know what you would do.
I know what I would do. I'd be like, dude, me too, man. And after, like,
Also, the younger journalist, I forgot her name. The one who was, like, kind of
Jesse.
like... Jesse, yeah. like her reaction after that scene, I thought was really good. Her like vomiting scene.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but like that really like I was like, damn, like that's such a real reaction. Like if I was there, like I would literally throw up.
Let's talk about that ending though.
Ending, honestly,
Felt very Alex Garlandy with the way that she left Kirsten Dunst there. I was like, yeah, typical Garland. And for a second, I was like, what the heck, man? They killed me there.
yeah. Chris Stuckman said that he hated that part. That he thought it was an assassination of her character because the whole thing was built on her like not doing that just for her to do it.
Yeah, like her character development was supposed to be her being different, not her learning to be like Kirsten Dunst. Yeah, I remember that really bothered me. But at the same time, like the very ending was sick, bro. Yeah, that'll do. Damn, that was good.
So
Also, she got that shot. I also think the way that it went down, though, Kirsten Dunst's death was very, like, kind of forced, honestly. Like, the way that she ran in was like, and then, like, she ran, it's like, bro.
yeah, I mean like it was
Bro.
kind of set up like
Bro.
so.
I will say, though, something I really liked about Jessie, Kaylee Spaney's character, was she acts very much like how like, a novice would in these situations, you know? You're eager to get out there, but when you're scared, you freeze up, and then you beat yourself up over it. So then you try even harder the next time, and then you get one good experience in, like, the scene inside, like the first battle that they're following, and like, when it breaks down, and they're, like, in that abandoned building and
The
whatnot.
Lost Soul.
Yeah, and she gets that one good shot in there, and, like, they praise her for that good shot. She's like, that's a great shot. After that scene, when she gets that praise and that good stuff, she starts to feel invincible afterward, I'd say, you know, because she's walking to these war zones, and just because she's wearing the vest that says press, she feels like she won't get caught in the crossfire and whatnot. Of course, she gets scared in Jesse Plemons' scene, but, like, you know, there's still, like, that level of invincibility. She's like, I made it through all of this. I feel like I'm going to be fine from here on out. You know, that fear kind of starts to go away. That fear that helps you survive. So by the time you're at the end and they're invading the White House and she's shooting pictures and whatnot, I feel like her character thinks she's invincible and that she's just going to be fine, you know, and all that matters is that she gets the pictures. So that's my justification. I think it's actually portrayed well in the movie. But still, it did seem a little, you know, forced for the movie-wise, but, like, I understand
Dude,
what they're going for there.
that reminded me, like, the scene before Jesse Plemons, the thing that kind of led up to it where she, like,
Goes to the
transfers in
car.
I remember initially thinking that was really stupid because I was like, bro, why would she do that? Like, you're in a civil war and stuff. But then I thought, like, man, like...
If I was there, I'd want to do that.
Yeah, like, she's trying to have, like, the little bit of fun she can have. And also, I feel like it would have ended up in the same situation because would I imagine that Jesse Plemons sitting there with a gun on the road and he sees him, he's like pull over. So he would have done the same to all of them. So I guess, like, it didn't really change much.
Yeah. Anyway, you have anything else to say about that movie?
Well, I'm going to talk about it again, hopefully.
Yeah.
And...
I'll probably, like, remember some more stuff.
Yeah, but,
We
like...
got a lot to talk about.
Like, overall, even though I hated watching it, you know, I gave it 5 stars as in, like, it made me think, because I still have not stopped thinking about it. It was one of the most memorable things, like, I've seen in a while. Like, most movies, even movies I like Abigail, like, you know, I'm not going to keep thinking about it. But Civil War, I was like, damn, bro, like, that got me thinking.
You know, I would say, I mean, I do have my complaints that I already mentioned about, you know, how I wanted to see more of what was going on. But, you know, overall, like, while I was watching it, I was fully immersed. And I remember I went in kind of scared as well. I was like, I've heard a couple mixed things here and there. You know, I'm like, how do you make a Civil War movie not be political? And then the answer is just, like, don't say anything about anything. And, you know, I think taking a more neutral route kind of helps in just dropping the audience member there and, like, not trying to pick sides and just watching what's going on. But on the other hand, if you're making a Civil War movie or, like, if you're showing this, I want to know, like the context of what these guys are doing. I also don't like how in the marketing they had those like maps that show the divided United States, showing like the loyalist states, the Western forces, these. It's like, which one are you? And like that's just a dumb marketing thing. But also the only like group that they mention in this whole movie is the Western forces. They don't mention any of the other ones. I don't even think they say the loyalist.
They said
states.
the Florida Alliance. Like
Oh, the
once.
Florida Alliance like once, and it's like,
Dude, remember when Jesse Plemons was like Florida Central? I was like, that's me.
oh yeah, baby, get your Central Florida representation right here. Michigan, see, that's America. Colorado, that's America.
I think just Alex Garland, like, honestly, like, I don't like him. Because
He's a pretentious loser.
he's a pretentious loser, and first, like, 2020, the rise of, all this stuff, he makes men. Because he's like, ladies,
Ladies, I need you to know who shot him on.
I'm on your side. Men, don't like him, right? He made that movie, it was stupid.
Men are bad.
Yeah,
That was his only
and then,
thesis
like,
statement.
during that time, I recall there being a lot of talk about a civil war. So he's like, I'll make a Civil War movie.
But yeah, bro, like, bro does this and bro does that, and then the moment that everything starts to settle down, he's like, oh, you know what? I'm not gonna make movies anymore.
Yeah, this is stupid.
He's milking the cow. Anyway, before Civil War, though, actually, you know what? Let me rate Civil War first. Are we done talking about Civil War?
Yeah.
I give Civil War 4.5. I think I give it a 4.5. Otherwise, I'd give it a 4. I was between 4 and 4.5, but like initially walking out of the movie, I was like 4.5. Might as well stick to it. But before Civil War, because we saw that on the 19th, on the 18th, I had to watch something for my birthday, so I rewatched Trainspotting. 19th birthday, baby.
Was it good?
Yeah, that's like in my top 15. That's an 100 out of 100 right there. Never gets old. Never gets old. I love that movie. And then for 420, because I saw a movie before Abigail as well. Abigail. It was 420, but then midnight passed. I was like, well,
421.
I smoked. Yeah, it was 421. I smoked a little doobie to celebrate the holiday. Then I watched The Holy Mountain, and like
It was trash.
honestly, like I still like that movie. None of my feelings about that movie since the first time I saw it have changed. But like, I just wasn't that high, and like it just wasn't able to hit that hard. For the beginning, I was like, but then I was just like, I just got tired and I fell asleep like in the last hour. I just fell asleep for like the rest of it.
Wait, so you logging it?
Yeah, I'll log it, but like I'm writing
Yeah,
down.
I watched this, like, wasn't high enough, fell asleep.
That's
100 out of
actually what it
100.
says. Watch for 420, but I wasn't high enough to get max enjoyment, and I fell asleep during the last hour.
100 out of 100.
I mean, it's still 100 out of 100. I love that movie.
And Isabella didn't like it.
See, the thing is, though, is that Isabella got like the wrong like take out of it. Isabella was all like, yeah, like all the messages it's preaching like aren't that deep, and it's like, well, the movie isn't trying to preach any message. I see that movie as brain fodder. That movie is brain fodder, and it's the perfect example of it. You put that on while you're high, and it's like the perfect thing to watch. Like if you're on like psychedelics or something. Weed, I mean, like it wasn't that crazy. I think it's better on like shrooms or something, but whatever. After that, though, we saw Abigail. Abigail. I'll start with Abigail this time. Abigail. There's like whenever you're watching a movie that has like some kind of big tonal shift or like big reveal in it, either goes from like drama to action or action to horror, something like that, or there's like a reveal. Perfect example, like The World's End, right? A sign that a movie like that is really good and that they're doing it right is before they do the reveal or the twist. You're like, I could watch like a whole movie of this right here. You know what I'm saying? The World's End does that perfectly, with the pub crawl. It's like, I could watch this movie on its own. If there was no sci-fi or horror elements in this movie, I'd be fine. And Abigail also does that. If there was no horror or comedy elements in that movie, like, I'd be fine. Because I was like, Abigail doesn't even do the vampire thing until like 20 minutes into the movie.
20 minutes? Like an hour in.
Dude, it was deep in. Well, I mean, the movie wasn't that long though, and she was a vampire for a while.
No, it was definitely like 40 or 50 at least.
It's gotta be 35. It takes a while for her to do it. And like, I was like so invested. Like, I actually liked all the characters. I was interested in hearing their backstories. Elon Musk was in it, bro. And he was all ripped. Like, he really, like, pulled himself together for the movie. Like, remember the pictures of him shirtless? Like, from a while back? Those were weird. But, yeah, and you know, I like the radio silence guys, Chad, Matt, and Rob. Except it's not Rob anymore. Chad, Matt, and Tyler. You know, been keeping up with them since, like, Ready or Not. And when the trailer for this movie came out, I was like, man, is this going to be their first bad movie? No, it wasn't. It wasn't. I actually liked it. I liked it a lot. I think the comedy hit pretty well. I like Dan Stevens. Took some turns towards the end, and I was like, whoa, this is crazy. This is not the movie I started with. Those guys love blowing people up in blood. I was like, damn, bro, they doing a Ready or Not again. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was sick. I like how they played with vampire tropes as well. Let's go look for some garlic, bro. Them's just some onions. Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked it. I like all the characters you said, but I remember, like, in my review I said that, like, I was like, yeah, I know that there's, like, a vampire, but, like, there's a sizable portion where the plot is, like, what is going on? And they're all trying to understand it. And it's just, like...
The marketing spoiled it.
Yeah. I mean, I can imagine them that when they were making the movie... Chris Duggan kind of said this. That when they were making the movie...
You listen to that guy?
that they probably didn't think about the marketing and was like, well, yeah, we're going to have a lot of time dedicated to figuring out what's going on. But then, like, obviously, they're not going to hide that in the marketing. They have to put that all in.
Yeah, you can't, like, make a trailer with just what's in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't sell as many tickets. So, like, you know, I understand. And I totally get, like, you know, if I went in completely blind or something.
If that was, like, a mystery movie and, like, none of us had seen the trailer,
then that would have been great.
Facts.
But, yeah, other than that, you know, I liked all the characters. Melissa Barrera, dude, I love her so much. Like, dude, since In the Heights, I've been a fan.
I was going to say, like, beyond Scream, she's been killing it. She doesn't need Scream. Remember how she, like, signed off those movies?
For good reason.
Yeah, facts. She doesn't need it. She's killing it.
Yeah, so, you know, she's such a great horror actress, which I didn't expect, again, like, after In the Heights. Like, I saw her in The Heights, and suddenly she's, like, in all these horror movies. But, yeah, I loved all the characters. Catherine Newton also, I love her.
We got a lot of great modern-day Scream queens. We got Catherine Newton. We got Melissa Barrera. We got Jenna Ortega. We got Mia Goth. We got
Lauren Lavera.
Who are our other Scream queens? Charlie, Stay Spooky, Laura Lavera, Sienna, XOXO Heart. Sydney Sweeney. I mean, she did, like... Does she do a lot of horror? I mean, but she certainly was screaming.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So... Yeah, I mean, I'm curious, though. There's I feel like there's one Scream queen I'm forgetting here. Oh, Samara Weaving. From Ready or Not and etc. What else was she in?
Babylon.
Yeah, Babylon. Oh, she was in the beginning of Scream 6 as well. And the Babysitter movies. But yeah, great stuff. You know, give me one of those movies every year. Give me an Abigail every year and I'll be happy.
Yeah, 4 stars.
4 stars. 4 stars. I like the Lollipop as well. Anyway, after that, saw 2 more movies.
Spider-Man 2 and 3.
Spider-Man 2 and 3. Dude, Spider-Man 2. That aims on the big screen. Oh my god. Dude, so amazing. So amazing. So amazing.
Is that the best one?
The best live action Spider-Man movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
For real?
It is. It is.
Like, better than, like,
No Way
Tom
Home.
Holland.
Yeah, it's better than all of his. On God. I actually have zero complaints with that movie. You can't even say it's nostalgia because I wasn't even thinking of my childhood while watching it. Isabella couldn't remember anything from that movie. Zero complaints.
Yeah, but I didn't have nostalgia. When I watched it, I was like, really?
That's you, bro.
This is
That's
what
only
people
you.
like.
That's only you. Because, like, I genuinely... like let me try to think that I don't like the movie. I can't think of anything I don't like about that movie. It's too good. It's too good. There's like I miss you know, before when superhero movies, an action scene can just be like stopping a crime, you know, just like webbing up like a taxi or something, or like a rampant like getaway vehicle, you know, stuff like that. Nowadays, all the action needs to be building towards something way bigger, and
nanotech.
Nanotech, bro. And that sounds like I'm like riffing off nostalgia, but that's not something that's like, oh, I remember when I was a kid and this and that. No, that's me actually saying like, I like superhero movies that focus on the hero, you know, a vigilante especially, just saving the day around the city and whatnot. And we kind of lost the plot with that. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of that in this movie, which I think is great. You know, he's delivering pizzas. He has to go save some kids. He's trying to make it to MJ's show. He has to stop some getaway crime robber guys. You know, stuff like that I think is great and really just accentuates what Spider-Man is. And it's just, you know, that used to be the type of thing that would excite people. And it still is, because it's so connected to his character. Every single major beat that he makes in this movie is directly related to his Peter Parker character. You know, they said the same thing for the first movie. This movie keeps it up. And my favorite scene, honestly, and like maybe even the whole movie, is the scene where he's going to MJ's play and he gets stopped. And my favorite shot in the whole movie is, it's like a second long shot, but he opens his closet and you see his Spider-Man suit hung up, and then right next to it you see his like suit and tie hung up next to it, and he's like it really just highlights it's the best example of like a superhero not wanting to be a superhero. And then it cuts right after to him like putting on his tie and stuff, and it's like I cried. So good. And on top of all that, it's just like sorry, I was going to say something. Forgot to say something. Just like, but yeah, I don't know. It's a beautiful movie. Doc Ock is awesome, and the action scenes like still hold up. They still hold up. They're still great. They're still exciting. They're so creative. Spidey versus Doc Ock. Give me more.
Well, let me ask you something. Why did he lose his powers?
Bro, because he didn't believe himself. I don't see what you don't understand there. You know, that the thing that I don't like about that movie isn't within the movie itself. Is that it spawned a generation of movies where the hero, like Wonder Woman 84, remember how she lost her powers in that movie? That's because of Spider-Man 2. That's the only thing I don't like about Spider-Man 2. It's the influence that it had.
Yeah.
It's the impact. And, yeah, it just, no one could do it better. Dude, that movie, Peter gets shat on like so much, and it's like hilarious how much it happens. Like in the span of like 30 seconds, MJ's like Peter can't do something right, like his camera's messed up or something, and then he gets scolded by J. Jonah Jameson, and then Harry's like, by the way, I hate you, and then MJ's like, I'm getting married. It's like in 30 seconds, like all of that happens, and he's like, ah! And like he tells Aunt May, he's like, yeah, Uncle Ben, like I'm the reason why he died. And I actually like teared up. A tear fell down my left eyeball. I don't know why, like whenever I'm watching a movie, this eye like generates tears a lot more than this one. Kind of weird. But when Aunt May's talking to him, she's like, there's a hero in all of us. I was like, dude, this movie's so good.
But remember that like after the scene with like Doc Ock, like they fought like on the side of the building. Remember when it faded to black?
When was that? Like in the when
like
he, like
it faded to black, like on a shot of Doc Ock's face.
Bro, who cares?
It was so
Who
bad.
cares?
I remember the water drip transition.
That one I remember being really bad. I remember being really bad when we saw it at home. But then when I saw it in the theater, I was like, low key, why did that look kind of good? Because like it goes from the water to the water, and like you know, like. You got to take into account the context in which a movie was created. You know, you got to do that even with movies that are coming out nowadays. You know, you got to do that with every movie. Back then, they probably had Windows Movie Maker, the newest technology at the time, and the editor was like, yo, Sam, check this out. And he like drags the transition over, and he's like, yo, I don't know you could do that. And he's like, yeah, these computers, man.
And they left it all in.
And they're like, keep that, that's crazy. No, but the title sequences for all the Raimi movies are amazing as well. But yeah, I mean, Spider-Man 2, 100 out of 100, masterpiece. I cannot get enough of it.
Damn.
Spider-Man 3, now I got a little funny story about this one.
Yeah, what happened?
Honestly, one of my dumbest moments of all time. So like, Isabel and I were running late to the movie, obviously. You know,
As
how it
usual.
usually is, yeah. We're running late to the movie, and we get there, and we get inside the theater, and I'm like, damn, we're already a few scenes in. And then I'm like, like after like maybe 15 minutes, I'm like, do you want to just like leave and like,
Wait, you guys sat down?
yeah. At first, I was like, dang, these people took my seats. I guess it's because we're late, right?
How far were you in?
Well, I couldn't remember like Spider-Man 3 that well, honestly. So I thought that we were like 3 scenes in maybe, and that there were just no previews, and that we were like maybe 20 minutes late or something. But then, like I realized in like later, something that happened. So first we walk in, I'm like, damn, our seats are taken. Then we sit down in the seats next to our seats, and we're watching. I'm like, man, stuff keeps happening. Like I'm like, oh, I'm excited for this scene to happen, and then a scene will happen. I'll be like, oh wait, that already happened before. Like I missed that. I'm like, how did I miss so much? And then also there's this one guy in the back of the theater, like he definitely had something, right? So like I'm not gonna like throw a hissy fit or anything, but he was laughing like the entire movie. But it wasn't like a regular like ha ha laugh. It was like a. It sounds messed up if I were trying to imitate it, but like I don't know how else to like demonstrate how he was doing it, you know. But he was like.
What the heck?
Like in the back of the theater, and it was like during serious scenes as well. And I guess it's because he was looking at Tobey Maguire's face, and like he was funny. Like his face is just funny. He looks so dopey for a lot of it, and that was just like making him laugh. But then before that. Yeah, so that's how that happens. Even a manager came in and like looked, because I'm assuming someone complained about the guy laughing, but like I wasn't gonna say anything. Anyway, we just leave. We're like, oh, we'll watch it at home. But then I look at my phone. I'm like, oh, there's a showing at 10:15 at AMC, and Isabel was also like talking like during the movie like saying like, oh, I'm really hungry right now. I'm like, you want to just leave and get food and then like, watch it at my house or something. So eventually that's what we do. Leave, get food. And then I'm like, oh, there's a showing at 10:15 at AMC. We can go see that. So then we do that, right? Regal gave me a poster for Spider-Man 3, by the way. I wish I got 1 and 2, but I didn't. I asked if they had any. Also, Sebastian was working that day. But anyway, so we see it at AMC. And then it wasn't until we were already a little bit, like maybe 15 minutes into the movie at AMC that I realized, dude, I walked into the 7 p.m. showing at the Loop instead of the 7:30 p.m. showing at the Loop. I was like, oh.
Wait, you walked into the wrong showing?
Yeah, bro. I was like, I walked into the wrong one. I was like, that's why people were sitting in my seat. That's why, like, so much had already happened.
Bro, you were like a 30-minute.
Yeah.
30 minutes ahead.
We were deep into the movie.
Wait, how'd you realize that?
Like, at the AMC? It's because I was watching stuff, and I was like... And then I remember I was watching it, and I was like, wait, we walked into Auditorium 2. That's what it said, right? And then I took out my wallet, and I looked at my ticket, and it said Auditorium 10. And I was like, bro, that is so dumb. So dumb.
Bro.
Yeah, it was so stupid. And Omar was at the 7:30 p.m. show, and I didn't even get to see him.
Yeah, he asked if I was going. I said no.
Yeah, but that was just so dumb on my part. As for the movie itself, though, I like Spider-Man 3. I think it's hilarious. I think the reason why people hated it so much when it came out, though, was just because superhero movies weren't as common. Because this came out the year before Iron Man came out. So superhero movies just weren't as common. So whenever one came out, it was like a big deal. So if it was like slightly disappointing, then that meant it was horrible. And people have come around to it now. I think it's funny. You know, I think it's hilarious how people were mad that like Peter with the symbiote was like acting stupid, but they thought that was serious. Like, no, it's just stupid and funny. Like, now dig on this. Like, it's funny. Like, the movie's actually hilarious. Like, beyond the memes and whatnot. It's a funny movie just, like, as a comedy. I mean, when it comes to things that I don't like, obviously way too overstuffed. Like, you got New Goblin, you got Black Suit, you got Venom Man, you got Sandman in the movie. Hell nah. Like, Venom should not have been in the movie at all. Way too much. Everyone already knows that, though. And then I also think Peter's, like, really annoying for some of it, even before he has the black suit. Come on, MJ. No, just one bad critic, when I'm Spider-Man, I'm still thinking of an icon now, but sometimes the Bugle puts out papers and people hate me, and you just gotta, just get back on the horse, and it's like, bro, you're not saying the right things right now. And then Harry gets amnesia. It's very soap opera-y. They retcon stuff. But honestly, I still think it's a good movie. I still like watching it. I don't think the action's as good as the first two movies, because, it just feels a little, more artificial this time. I feel like the action in the first two movies had more heart. In this movie, I feel like the heart and the action are a little bit more separated from each other. It doesn't feel like Spider-Man is, like his fighting is directly correlated to his feelings. It mostly just feels like here's a lot of scenes that revolve around its emotions, and then here's him fighting as well, instead of it feeling more connective, webbed together. But yeah, I mean, I still like it. I love the ending scene as well. I always have.
Good Fade to Black.
That's a good Fade to Black there, and it's such a nice. They weren't planning on making that the end of the Raimi movies, but I still think it's a very nice note to end on.
I mean, we might get Spider-Man 4.
Yeah, maybe, but even so, I still feel like you wouldn't watch all four, together. You'd probably watch the first three and then No Way Home and then the fourth one or something. So in terms of that trilogy, I think it's, very sweet end. And yeah, I love Spider-Man 3. I'd give it, a 3.5. And, maybe even on the higher end of that, maybe even closer to 4 stars. I feel like everyone's too hard on that movie. And everyone's come around to it. I think everyone is also coming around to the Amazing movies. I don't think they should. Those movies are bad. But you get the idea. That's all I've seen. I saw that last night.
Damn.
What's that thing you watched, bro?
Nah, here's the thing I watched.
Dying to know.
Because I watched this. I saw the new Fallout TV series on Prime. What? Dude.
That's interesting.
Dude, let me tell you.
Have you played the games?
No.
Wait, you saw the whole series?
I saw the whole thing.
How long is it?
8 episodes.
How long is each episode? An hour?
Yeah.
When did it come out? Last week?
Yeah. The thing is that I was going on TikTok and I was seeing all these edits of the main character Lucy, and everyone was praising the show, and I was low key, it looks kind of good. I think I'll watch it.
Yeah, it looks good.
So I watched it. Dude, that was an amazing show. I thought it was so good. Actually.
You haven't played the games, right?
I have not played the games. I was going because Moist Critical in his review, he said, I think if you played the Fallout games, you're gonna have a great time. But if you don't know anything about this universe, you're also gonna love it because it's just such a cool world to explore.
You should play Fallout 4.
Have you played Fallout 4?
That's the only one I've played.
You've actually played the Fallout?
Only the fourth one.
How'd you play it?
With Colin on his Xbox One.
Oh.
Taking turns. Back when we were 12 years old.
Yeah,
11 years old.
Not knowing anything about the Fallout universe, because I remember looking up if the show spoiled the games, and people said that it kind of does spoil the truth behind a lot of things, and also apparently that show's ending is one of the canon endings to one of the Fallout games. I think
it's the fourth one, man.
I think it's Fallout 4.
Dang. I heard people like the third one or New Vegas more or something, but the fourth one's the only one I played, and that game's a masterpiece.
I think I'm gonna play it now because it's free.
It's free?
With PlayStation Plus.
I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna play it. Oh my god, that game is good.
I'm excited. But let me tell you. One, I want to start with the beginning. Dude, this is crazy. I think you're gonna find this insane. First opening scene, dude. Not even a minute in, and Logan Crawford is he's a news anchor in the very beginning. He's talking about the nuclear war.
From Bad Eggs 3?
Yeah, and I paused it and I was like, oh my god, I work with that guy.
Dude, we gotta make a TikTok that's like Logan Crawford from Bad Eggs 3 and Fallout.
Yeah, dude, literally opening scene. I paused it, I looked it up, and I looked at his IMDb, and he was literally in Fallout. I was that is so crazy, that he's in this, and we worked with him.
So wait, which vault are they? Do you come out of in the movie, in the show?
In the show, it focuses on 33.
33.
Yeah.
In 4, I'm pretty sure it's 111. Vault 111.
Well,
The opening scene of the game is so good.
dude, I was gonna tell you.
I just remember the opening. Dude, the opening scene of that game is
The
so
opening
good.
scene of the show is so good. I think that they might be kind of the same thing. But, you know Walter Goggins?
Yeah, he's a great actor.
He plays the ghoul. Easily, like, the greatest
Oh,
character.
I saw
Dude,
that he did.
He is so good. Every scene he's in is like a masterpiece. Like, he's just such a good actor. And he plays like 2 characters. Because he, like, I don't know, there's like a lore reason behind it. I don't want to spoil anything. But, like, you know, there's a lot to be, like, found in his character. But he's such an interesting character. And he's in the opening scene. Dude, that show has a crazy good title card in every episode. It's like adapted to each like scenario. Like, for example, the first one, like, you know, it plays and you're like, damn, like that's crazy. Second one, when it comes in, you're like, damn, that was crazy. Like each one is adapted, like to Fallout, and each one has it looks cool. Each title card is super good. The character of Lucy, dude, she's so great.
Is Vault Boy in it?
Vault Boy, well, I don't want to spoil nothing. But there's something very... Also, I don't know if you knew this, but Jonathan Nolan, Christopher Nolan's brother, directed the first 3 episodes.
Yeah, he worked on Westworld.
And he's an executive producer
makes
on the
sense.
whole thing. Yeah. So, the first 3 episodes, you know, they were great.
You know he
And-
has an American accent?
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird. You know, Lucy, the main character, Ella, I forgot her last name, but she's like extremely British, like super British, and she plays an American character, which I thought was funny.
Hello, my name's Ella.
Yeah, but man, in general, just like I love the show. I watch it like daily, like 1 episode a night, and you know, it's super fun. It's an interesting look into the world. There's a lot of twists like that. If you don't know anything about Fallout, you're probably gonna be like, damn, like that is crazy, because like not knowing anything is a different... It's not like the Last of Us show, where I don't want to watch the Last of Us show because the game is the plot. You know, it's the game directly turned. Fallout, there's a bunch of games, and they all have different plot lines, and the show is kind of just like its own thing, which is why I thought it would be a good idea to watch a show of Fallout and then play the games. So, I would recommend that you watch it.
I don't want to set
Also-
the world. What?
Dude, that reminds me. You're going to think this is crazy as well, but there's a needle drop, I think, in like the 4th episode, and it's a pretty big TikTok song. But honestly,
weird.
it was one of my favorite needle drops in the whole show.
Interesting.
Like, immediately you're like, oh, that's from TikTok, but it plays in such a perfect moment. And I'm like, if you're going to use a TikTok song,
that's the
this
one.
is like the place to
It
put
says in
it.
the 4th episode.
It's either in the 3rd or 4th one.
Well, I definitely want to watch the show. I also want to replay Fallout 4. Because, dude, that game is
Yeah,
Great story.
I mean, you should, dude. I've been dying to talk to someone about the show because, like, Jacob and Chris, they haven't watched it. I told them I watched it, but they haven't watched it. Like, no one has watched it. I'm literally like every episode, I'm like, dude, I need to talk to someone about how like good this is. That's why I really want to record this.
I'm probably going to watch it, but, I'm just honestly, like, I'm just confused. Like, you spent 8 hours watching that, but you haven't started Neon Genesis
Dude,
Evangelion.
when you told me to start watching that, the reason I was like, maybe I'll start next week is because I was watching a Fallout show.
Dang.
Because, yeah, also the first episode is like 72 minutes. When the first episode ends, I need to warn you about this. When the first episode ends, there's like a trailer for the rest of the show for some reason.
Oh,
I
like
think it's like coming next, like
Yeah.
up next.
On the next
and
episode.
I didn't watch that because obviously I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
But it spoiled a lot.
Same with Evangelion. They have, like, on the next episode, but I'm usually, like, on the next one already before that plays.
Yeah. So, also, the episodes are low-key pretty short. Like, on Amazon, the shortest one is, like, 43 minutes. And that's including, like, the credits and, like, the language credits.
Yeah.
So, it's a pretty short thing. It's not that big of a commitment. The show's pretty, like, condensed, you know? It's not a long show. And the ending, I thought, was crazy. It sets up a lot. The ending reminds me of a certain, like, other thing that I wouldn't say because it could probably spoil it. But, like, they're definitely going to make season 2, and like season 2 I think is going to be incredible the way that they set it up. Also, I know as a Fallout fan, like the very last like 30 seconds of the show like probably made you do backflips. Me has never played the Fallout games. I was like, I know what this is, but it's not making me freak out.
Dang.
But like I know that any Fallout fan would be super thrilled. But yeah, honestly, as a show, 4.5. But like, if it was on Letterboxd and I could rate it and put it in my ranking of 2024, I'd give it 5 stars. It'd be like my second or third favorite of this year.
Dang.
I thought it was super great.
Honestly, like for a couple years now, honestly, like every time I hop on the PlayStation Store and I see a Fallout 4 is on sale, I'm always like, oh, should I get that? Nah. Maybe I will though, because I've been dying to replay that game for a while, and like I don't know if I should watch the show first or play the game. If I play the game first, it's gonna be like a good 2 years before I watch the show.
Yeah, man, you should watch the show.
Yeah, I suppose.
And there's a lot of unanswered questions as well. Like I really want to talk to you about it, like in spoiler. Like if you watched it, I'd have fun. Like,
see, but like, what if there's a crazy plot point in Fallout 4 that I forgot, and then I get it spoiled in the show?
Yeah, but like, honestly, to me, like game plots, like they're not that crazy.
Dude, I got a Spider-Man 2 spoiler though. That's so upsetting.
Yeah, to me, honestly, I know how Spider-Man 2, like, I know, like, the ending and stuff. I know all of it, but that still, like, makes me want to play the game because I just know it'll be fun. I feel like game plots is just hard to get into.
Yeah, and I mostly only remember the gameplay of those games, dude. I remember, like, locations from that game. I remember this one boss battle that was crazy. That game is good.
Yeah.
Also, like, what are, like, say some, like, terms from... It's like this group of people, in Fallout.
Vault Dwellers?
No. Well, not Vault Dwellers, but, like, it's like a haven, kind of.
Billy.
No.
I don't know.
Let me see. Did you ever play the mobile game?
Dude, no, I've never played any Fallout game.
Dang.
But I consider myself a Fallout fan after this.
Is it the Sanctuary? No.
The Brotherhood.
The Brotherhood.
Dude, the Brotherhood plays a huge, like, essential role in the show.
Yeah, I mean, they're, like, also important.
They're the coolest part of the show easily. Dude, the visuals in that show are also great. Actually, there's one instance... I think the visuals are great. That show is very violent.
That's
it's a
good.
TVMA, like, there's, like, blood and, like, violent stuff. There's also
and mutants.
Yeah, there's one scene with like a hell of a lot of nudity, and I was like, damn, like this is strange for the Fallout show, right? But there's one instance at the end that I know that you'd complain about, because even there's some de-aging at one point, and I was like, okay, I can see that is some pretty significant de-aging. I know that if you saw it, you'd be like, ugh!
They de-aged a 40-year-old to be like 13.
Nah, but like, that's it. Besides that, all the visuals were super great. The world, man, it's just such a fun show. And Lucy, again, like, she's such a great character because she's not she's like stupid, as in like,
inexperienced.
She's inexperienced, and she sees all this violent stuff, and she doesn't react. It's like if you have never seen something violent in your life, and I showed you gore, you're probably not gonna freak out. You're gonna be like,
what is that?
What is going on? Like, and then like her character arc, the way she changes is super like cool. It's awesome. We had chills sometimes.
So wait, does the show is what's her name, Lucy? Is Lucy like in a vault for a long time, and then she comes out and sees the post-apocalyptic world?
Yeah. Well, not yeah. In the show, like the first episode, she's out.
Yeah. But obviously like the first episode.
But yeah.
But like she's like in there, she's like all frozen, sleeping and stuff, and then she comes out and she's like, what is going on?
Well,
she's like,
no, it doesn't like show that. That's the thing. That's a part of the lore that if you know all that, then you're just gonna understand what's going on, kind of. But for me, that's like a slow, like, and they do it differently. What you just described, I know what you're describing, but they kind of portray it differently in the show. So I think it's super interesting.
Dude, the opening scene of the game is so good. I remember when I first saw that, I was like, this is like a movie right here.
Dude, I think you'd probably have the same reaction. Bro, I'm telling you, the opening scene of the show, Logan Crawford shows up, has an insanely great title card, and the visuals are fantastic. Yeah, I think you should watch it.
I'm hyped. I'm gonna watch it. But let's get on to some news.
Oh,
Wait, when are you gonna watch Evangelion though?
I don't know, cause I also was gonna start this other show.
What show?
Guess I'll just tell you. It's Baby Reindeer.
Oh, the miniseries?
Yeah, cause my sister told me, and like after seeing Fallout, I'm like I'm really open to watching anything right now.
Dude, I heard that was crazy.
I think I'm gonna watch.
I know, like you know what,
I know the plot.
Yeah, but do you know like how it's based on like the true story and the guy that it happened to like starred and wrote it?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy and sad and vulnerable.
Dang.
I already like kind of know the story though, but whatever. On to some news though. Quentin Tarantino officially cancels his final film, The Movie Critic.
Oh my god, I saw that.
What?
That's kind of disappointing.
Yeah. And it sucks because, you know, Brad Pitt was going to be in it as Cliff Booth and Tom Cruise was in talks for a role. But I actually found out some details as to why he canceled it. He was playing with two different ideas to bring back his past characters. One idea would have seen the director's films existing in the same reality as his new movie, letting him resurrect his famous characters for film within a film moments. The other idea would have been for the iconic figures to interact with the character based on a young Tarantino. Boy, am I glad they're not doing that anymore because they would have stolen our idea.
Wait, what was it?
To have his movies exist in the same reality as the new movie, letting him resurrect his famous characters for a film within a film moments.
They always taking our stuff. That's why we gotta release the finale now.
Facts. Let's just get it out there. But that's pretty crazy. And that sounded like a very final movie from him based on that description, you know? But, I mean, apparently he doesn't want to do it anymore just because he didn't think it was that good.
Interesting.
He was like, I want my last movie to be good. I'm not doing it. Yeah, he said he wants to go out on top. And the added pressure to make his final film his best ultimately led him to pursue an alternative project. Honestly, who cares? Just release both.
Yeah.
It has to be 10.
No, it doesn't.
Just make it 11. Make it 12.
Bro,
People
11 sounds good. He has 11 movies.
People kept saying, like, oh, Kill Bill Volume 3. Yeah, I disagree with that. Kill Bill shouldn't have a volume 3.
He already has 11 movies. He just thinks Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 are the same.
Yeah, bro. He already has 10 out right now.
Yeah.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is last. Alright. Rebel Moon officially expanding into 6 feature-length films.
40% slow-mo. I saw Moist Critical like go in depth on the plot of part 2, and like I know everything that happens, and it sounds horrible. It honestly sounds like one of the worst things I could ever watch.
Should I watch it or should I listen to him talk about it?
Well, he just talks about like how much slow-mo there is.
Yeah, I heard it a lot.
Like there's like an unbelievable amount of slow-mo, and it's boring slow-mo.
You think if the
like,
slow-mo was like regular speed that the movie would be like 30 minutes long?
Yeah, probably. Like it's just people farming.
Oh, in slow-mo?
Yeah.
Bruh.
Like minute-long sequences of people farming in slow motion.
That's crazy. That's crazy, bro. Hell no. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be like a trilogy of 2 separate part movies. So part 1, part 2, part 1, part 2, and part 1, part 2.
He should write it, and then he should give it to someone else and say, hey, rewrite this and you make it.
Or he should write it, wait like 2 years, and then read it, and then change it, and then give it to someone else.
I don't know, it's just like, I mean, I feel bad because like he clearly like cares. He thinks that this is some great franchise, but like, bro, if the movies are bad, like ain't nobody gonna watch them except for the Zack Snyder meat riders.
Bro, I don't know why people like him so much. Keanu Reeves is gonna star in Ruben Östlund's next movie, The Entertainment System is Down. It's a social satire set on a long-haul flight on which the entertainment system isn't working, which sparks major chaos.
That sounds interesting.
Yep. You know what he made, Ruben Östlund? He did Triangle of Sadness and Force Majeure.
Oh.
I think Force Majeure is the movie about the guy who's like on vacation with his family, and then like an avalanche happens behind them, like next to their lodge, like where they're staying with like a bunch of people, and like everyone thinks they're gonna die, but like they don't, like they're all fine. It's just like a little bit of snow, and then like this drama because this like guy and his like wife and kid are there, and like he like runs away instead of trying to protect them, and then it's just awkward afterward. So I want to watch that. And then Triangle of Sadness I liked a lot, so I think sounds like a good movie. The entertainment system's down. Invincible has been officially renewed for seasons 4 and 5.
Wait, like it was already renewed for seasons 3?
Yeah.
And then they did 4
They
and
did
5.
2 and 3, and now they're doing
Dude,
4
when
and
are we
5.
gonna watch that? I want to watch like just the first episode together, and then I want to like for us to both
Go off and see the rest. Yeah, there's a lot to watch. There's also a lot of movies to watch. You gotta watch shows, you gotta watch movies. Boy, oh boy, it's a good time to be alive. Screamboat.
Huh?
From the producers of The Mean One and Terrifier 2 brings Screamboat. The horror movie, which is centered around Mickey Mouse terrorizing a ferry in New York City, has received its first poster. Screamboat
I'm not gonna
Willie.
see that.
It's Screamboat Willie, bro. Oh, hell no. Oh. Al Pacino and Dan Stevens to star in Exorcist movie based on true story.
Sure, that might as well happen.
Yep, it's eyeing a 2025 release date. Pacino stars as a priest with a troubled past who teams with doubting priest Stevens to help a young woman who's the victim of demonic possession. It's based on the real-life case of Emma Schmidt, an Iowa woman whose alleged possession went on for several decades before she underwent a series of exorcisms in 1928. I'm a little bored of those exorcist movies, but okay. You know, clearly if Pacino is going to be in it, except he's a little delusional. And my eyes see Oppenheimer. And my eyes see a demon inside this grill. He better say that. Oscars announced updated Best Picture eligibility rules. Creates a massive barrier for Netflix films.
Dang, for real?
Yup.
What?
So it needs to have an expanded theatrical run of 7 days, consecutive or non-consecutive, in 10 of the top 50 U.S. markets, no later than 45 days after the initial release in 2024. For late-in-the-year films with expansions after January 10th, 2025, distributors must submit release plans to the Academy for verification. So none of these, 2025 movies are going to be eligible for Best Picture. Release plans for late-in-the-year films must include a planned expanded theatrical run, as described above, to be completed no later than January 24th, 2025. Non-U.S. territory releases can count towards 2 of the 10 markets, and qualifying non-U.S. markets include the top 15 international theatrical markets, plus the home territory for the film. So, on one hand, this is good because it encourages more movies to be released theatrically, which I love. I want to see movies in theaters, and I don't have to wait as long to see them because they're going to be coming out within the year. But this is also bad for indie movies because a lot of these movies don't have a theatrical outlet. They can only afford to be released on streaming. Tis what it is.
Good and bad.
What else are we looking at? I already read all that.
Dude, I got one.
What?
The home media release of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes will include a version of the entire movie with the original footage of the actors in mocap suits.
No way! Edited?
Yeah.
That sounds hilarious.
That was just posted last night.
Dude, I would watch that. Also, here's a Reddit post of this guy who got the Godzilla criterion. He put beat wife ever. It says, please don't beat wife. He meant to put
Dude, I
best
have that.
wife. Alright. Well, just like that just about wraps up
I have a hole in my
this
underwear.
week's...
I have to blur that.
Oh, hell no. That just about wraps up this week's episode of the Bad Eggs Film Podcast. Next week, we'll be talking Challengers.
And Guy Ritchie's new movie.
And I'll be talking about Little Nightmares and the Fallout show. And you'll be talking about Baby Reindeer and Evangelion. And I'll be talking about...
I'll be talking about the Modern Warfare 2 campaign.
Yep. It's not the Bad Eggs Film Podcast anymore. It's the Bad Eggs Media Podcast. And we'll see you all back for episode 8, whenever that comes out. All right. See ya. Bye!
See you guys.